Coming up on Patriots This Week, a blue blood Patriots fan rang in the Mike Vrabel era. But instead of victory on the field, there was disappointment.
We were too many missed opportunities, too many penalties. Just didn't take advantage of bad football.
The Raiders pirated a win out of Foxborough.
Yeah, there's plays throughout the age we should have back.
You know, it's week one. Nobody in this league is going undefeated.
It's a brand new team, brand new year. This is one game.
It wasn't good enough.
Next up, a divisional foe, a quarterback who has had their number, and a stadium that has haunted the Patriots of the past. The new coach says, bring it on.
We'll see what kind of football team we have, what kind of leaders we have.
Now, it's Patriots This Week.
Well, heading into week one, Mike Vrabel, the Patriots' new head coach, preached the importance of winning the second half. But unfortunately, the Raiders prevailed in the final 30 minutes, and the Pats fall in their first game under the aforementioned Vrabel. So now it's on to Miami as we welcome you into Patriots This Week. I'm Bob Socci with Brian Hoyer, former Patriots quarterback, and Scott Zolak, former Patriots quarterback. And guys, the current Patriots quarterback, Drake Maye, had a nice stretch in the middle of the game after the Pats had fallen behind the Raiders. They took advantage of an interception by Geno Smith. They took a 10-7 lead into halftime, and then things turned about 3 minutes into the third quarter.
I think the biggest thing for me was just inconsistency. There was a lot of great plays. I watched Drake in rhythm, drilling Kayshon Boutte down the field, some really good throws to Hunter Henry. He got Stephon Diggs involved, who didn't play as much, but was still had about as many targets as everybody else. We saw the touchdown to Pop Douglas, a great play. He sees blitz zero. I mean, those are the steps that I was expecting to see. The inconsistencies are really what kept them from being in this game at the end and ultimately winning it.
Those two interceptions, the one by Drake and one by Geno, really flipped it for the other team. And I thought before that half ended, the first half, we had control of that game. Mm-hmm. We were down early. We came back, got it, and I'm like, oh, this is where we're going to be good again. Okay, we're going to have halftime adjustments, won the opening coin toss. We deferred. We could drain this clock, try and get points. We ended up giving them the ball back. They came back and got points. And that's sort of setting off some triggers there for me from like the last 2 years.
And I know I'm biased here as a former quarterback. It wasn't Drake's fault. He was reading the right read, got hit while he was throwing the ball sails. It's an interception. They turned that into a touchdown. And I felt like after that it was really inconsistent would be the right word.
Mike Vrabel talked as well about the importance of avoiding bad football, taking advantage of other teams' bad football. The Pats couldn't do that fully. The Raiders were able to take advantage of theirs enough.
Special teams penalties. They preached second half effort, being better in the second half. They weren't better in the second half. False starts from your left tackle, 2 of them. Now, hey, he was accountable, says he's got to fix it. There's a lot of accountability on this team.
Why weren't the Patriots able to run the ball more effectively, and why didn't the screen game work?
I thought they got stuffed at the line of scrimmage. I didn't think that the right side of the ball, where we had confidence going that Owenu and Morgan Moses were going to be your better linemen throughout the course of the day. I don't think that the 2 rookies struggled that badly on the left side. I thought they got through the game. Now, they have some issues and penalties? Yes. Did they have some pressures? Yes. You're not good enough yet as a team to only run the ball 3 times in the second half. That can't happen. They used to do that when Brady had Shane Vereen. That was the Super Bowl. We were down 10. He was throwing it remember that? He was throwing it every damn play in the end.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
I think the thing you saw was, Zoe hit on it, the line wasn't pushing the defensive.
There was no movement of the line of scrimmage.
The Raiders line back. And so at a certain point, if you're the offensive coordinator, you're saying, well, this isn't really working. And when you watch the film, there was a few MEs. I mean, there were some plays where we had guys, whether it was the fullback, the tight end, a receiver going up to lead block, and the defensive line is beating our offensive line. They're trying to make up for that bad block, and now things are getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And so I think that's why you saw maybe some of the shorter passes to the running backs. Sometimes that Josh looks at that as an extension of the running game. Well, we're not running it up the middle very well, but if we get some of these short passes, maybe we contribute to the running game, which is why I think you saw Drake Maye with so many pass attempts.
Let's talk about some players individually. Stephon Diggs makes his Patriots debut. Didn't have a lot of snaps, but caught generally what was thrown to him in the short intermediate range.
He's the type of guy you're going to have to feed to get him involved. He's got to feel like he's getting the football. The big point is you throw it near him, he's going to catch it. You get the one to pop, it bounces right off his hands. That's a looking route. They've got to be better at that slot position. I wouldn't be shocked if Chisholm plays more this week.
When you look at the Patriots, one guy who was there, Brian, time and again, for big catches, not just a volume of catches, but first down catches, Kayshon Boutte.
Yeah, I can just see the difference in attitude. I can see he's taken the coaching. His routes last year, even though he was successful, could be sloppy at times.
Rounded, yeah.
Yeah, the routes are so much better. Credit Todd Downing, Josh McDaniels, the way that they run this system, and he's reaping the benefits from it. And you can see, we just talked about, Drake trusts Hunter Henry. You can see that he trusts Kayshon Boutte a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of throws, letting him go early, throwing him into his zone, and Boutte's done a tremendous job.
And Brian, statistically, I think everybody was happy with the performance of Harold Landry, one of the free agent signees defensively, 2.5 sacks. Milton Williams didn't stand out in the box score very much, but Mike Vrabel seemed pleased with his play up front. Carlton Davis got beat, though, on a very important play, kind of a flukish play where Geno Smith is throwing a moon ball that Thornton, the rookie receiver, slides under for a critical first down.
Yeah, it's one of those, you talk about that pass on Davis, it's third and 18, something like that, but typically at that range, you're going to see teams run deep in cut. So remember Geno kind of, like you just said, leaning back, ready to let it go. He knows, Carlton Davis knows the sticks. He's going to jump them. So, that's a tough one. You're expecting the ball to come out, right? You're not thinking that the quarterback has the time to throw the deep one like that. But I think there was a lot of flashes on the defense. They were aggressive. You saw them all getting to the football. And it's week one. The sky is not falling. I think there was a lot of good things out there. They got to eliminate the bad. They got to be more consistent.
Patriots, a lot of blitz pressure against the Raiders, and they paid for it on one play of the touchdown to Trey Tucker. Going forward, how much do you think we're going to see of that? I thought at the initial stages of training camp we would see more pressure trying to generate from the defensive line, but they got their pressure from the blitz.
Yeah, I think the pressure does help the back end. I think they both work with each other. I think when you get Gonzalez back too at some point here, hopefully you're going to lock up more man, which just makes it tighter for the quarterback. Hold on to it a little more till I see it, till I throw it in that window. When you're playing zone, you're going to see a lot of zone this week because I think Tua gets rid of the ball.
Now, that's about the kicking game, because Borregales, the rookie, misses his first NFL try.
21-yard punt, Bob.
You look back to last weekend, how many games, as usual, turned on made or missed kicks? Behringer, an experienced punter now in his third year, and Vrabel was questioned for the decision not to go for it on 4th and 10. He elected to put the defense out there, but the punt traveled only 21 yards.
That was the false start, right, by Campbell, which
it was 4th and 5
is very manageable than 4th and 10. And think about it this way: if you don't convert on 4th and 10,
they get the ball
right there, and they get another. Even if it's just a field goal, you got to go score 2 touchdowns. Now I think Vrabel's thinking, go ahead, punt it, pin them down, and to your point, you got to have a better punt in that situation.
21-yard kick. Made Vrabel's decision look a lot worse than what it was at the time. I didn't realize it during the broadcast. I was more mad we didn't go for it, but then you're like, oh wow, that was a 21-yard kick.
Yeah,
no choice.
Three timeouts still left. So I think Vrabel's looking at it like, go ahead, punt it down, pin them. Maybe this helps with we get better field position coming back. But when you have a 21-yard punt, that really highlights the decision. Should you have gone for it?
When we come back, we'll let Mike Vrabel speak for himself, and we'll talk about Drake Maye a bit more, along with offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, right after this.
Patriots This Week is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots. By DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots. And by Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit SITickets.com today.
Jalen Hawkins is the Cross Insurance Player of the Week. The 6'1", 208-pound safety is in his second year in Foxborough, and the California grad had his best game in the season opener. The 28-year-old had a momentum-changing interception and also recorded the first sack of his Patriot career. The Player of the Week is brought to you by Cross Insurance, the official insurance broker of the New England Patriots.
Is there anything with Drake? Is there any chance you feel like there might be too much on his plate right now?
I think we have to evaluate that. We have to find out, is there something there, or we just got to, figure out what our guys do best and do that. Again, we just make sure that we're giving them answers, but trying not to give them too much. I think that's always the balance and the fine line.
And the words of Mike Vrabel on his second-year quarterback Drake Maye, welcoming us back to the Bob's Discount Furniture studio as we continue on Patriots This Week. And how about it, Scott Zolak? Does Drake have too much on his plate in this offense under Josh McDaniels?
I need to see more. We're basing it off one game. I talked to him last week. He was excited to get in a game and get in rhythm. Us calling games for him last year, he'll make some mistakes early, but I think he settles down and he gets better as the game goes on. We're going to get to the point where he's comfortable calling things at the line of scrimmage, adjusting things.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I would say is I didn't see a lot of hesitancy until after the interception. I thought, look, yeah, did he miss some throws in the first half? We talked about the first third down to Pop. His feet are just off. There's no hesitancy. And you talk about, is there too much? That was a great example of being in charge on the field. He sends the back in motion. He sees it's blitz zero. He gets to the right play. He knows exactly where to go. That's the blitz zero beater, the outbreaking route. Boom, touchdown. That was one of the most exciting plays for me because it just showed his understanding of what the defense is doing, where my answer is. And after that, I thought he rattled off a lot of great throws. After the interception, as I saw him play, there was a little bit of, I got to be careful. I can't turn the ball over again, which I've been there before. Trust me. You throw that interception, it's a close game. I think he's just got to be confident in himself, let it rip. He's more than capable of handling what they're doing out there right now.
And as well, talk about not being tentative. Again, like in the preseason, he came out firing high. First pass on third down toward Pop Douglas, sails it out of play toward the Patriots sideline as Pop is coming back toward the stick.
As non-conventional footwork that you can see with the position, when you're throwing, you want your back foot planted, stepping with your off foot. He's got the right foot coming forward as he's throwing it, Chuck Knobloch style. Guess where that one's going? In the dugout over there. Yeah.
You have watched Josh's offenses, of course, from the broadcast booth. You have played in them, and you were here when the last first-round quarterback came into the NFL. What's Josh's approach in developing a young quarterback? Is he a guy who's prone to give you only what you show him you can consume, digest, process, and execute?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. At least from my experience when I was here with Mac Jones, he would take it so far. If Mac showed that he could handle it, then you move on to the next thing, and then you move on to the next thing. And I think a lot of it, too, people don't understand is the off-season training camp, you have to install a large amount of offense. What happens when you get to the regular season, it really narrows down to who you're playing. It's a game plan offense. We are going to see what the defense does, who we're going against that week, and we're going to formulate a plan to attack them where we feel like they have some weak points. Maybe we're not going to attack where we feel like their strong points are. And so it can vary, but there's got to be some kind of base offensive level that you're going off of. So I just think first game of the year, if you have some bad tendencies, like Zoe mentioned, with your feet getting a little tight, look, it's the first third down of the season, the ball's a little wet, you just got to really rely on your fundamentals.
And of course, in the case of Drake Maye, he gets a chance in only his 14th start to go to Miami and face a defense that did not get a stop against the Colts. We'll come back and talk about the Dolphins right after this.
All right, it's time now for your Zoe Show. Week number 2. Bad loss last week, but hey, we're on the road, divisional game on the road, and I'm going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa. I think I said it right. I'm going to let Bob Socci, my play-by-play partner, do his name a lot in the game, and I'll just call him Tua. Why do you like Tua? Why do we got to watch him? He's 7-0 against the Patriots. According to CBS Sports, longest active streak of a quarterback against a certain opponent. So let's take a look at it. 69% completion. Freeze it right here. What you're going to see is a lot of motion. Mike McDaniels likes to dress things up. What this motion does creates an opportunity right here for a quick little look in. Watch how quick he gets rid of the football. One step, boom, ball's out. Can't get to him. Okay, we move on. Dresses it up a little bit on the next play. Freeze it, trips. 1, 2, 3. You think this is the guy they're going to try and get down here. No, here's a little look in right there. It's a little decoy action. Again, one step, ball's out. Get your hands up, defenders. And last but not least, don't throw it to the motion guy. This guy's going to run just a little wheel. He's going to stay here and watch Tua put the ball right there. Count the steps again. One step, ball's out. He's a really good distributor of the football. So if you're New England, you got to play a lot of man. Got to get your hands up, deflect it. He's a little guy, according to most quarterbacks, where he should be 6'5" like me. There's your Zoe Show.
Welcome back inside the Bob's Discount Furniture Studio. I am not 6'5". I'm not a former quarterback.
That's for sure.
Like Scott Zolak, Brian Hoyer He's a pro quarterback, former quarterback.
Yeah.
What are you, 6'3", Brian?
6'3", yeah.
Close enough for the 6'5".
Closer to you, Bob, than I am.
You look about taller than 6'3".
And a lot taller than Tua Tagovailoa, who had one of his worst performances over the weekend for the Miami Dolphins, turning up the heat as well on head coach Mike McDaniel. The Dolphins lose to the Colts 33-8. Indianapolis scored on every possession.
Daniel Jones.
Tua turned it over 3 times.
It's hard to be critical of him in Miami week for us. Because like he's heard, he's 7-0 against you and lights you up, distributor of the ball. If you can't get to him quickly, and it's that one step and throw, it's like a point guard in basketball. You got to do something with your front where you run whatever games, get your hands up, and he's a shorter guy, try and tip it, because I don't think you're going to generate the pressure to get to him. So do you man up? Do you cover him more? You're sort of stuck there because if they crease you, they crease you.
Well, the Colts did that. Xavier Howard, the former Dolphin cornerback, said when we took away his first read, he panicked.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's some bad vibes down in Miami right now. There's no sugarcoating it, right? Tyreek Hill's asking for a trade. They're all out of sorts, and so it showed on the field on Sunday. And you're right, Tua. When you see his success against the Patriots, it's those quick hitters, right? It's put the ball, is it an RPO? There's the guy at the sideline. And then where he hits you is when you're looking at all of this, there's Tyreek Hill with an 18-yard inco, which I don't know if you saw this stat. It's been over a year since Tyreek's had over a 30-yard reception, which is insane when you think of it that way because he's been this explosive guy. So it shows you where they're struggling. And then when you go to their defense, I mean, when you talk about not being able to stop the Indianapolis Colts, and I would say the one thing when it relates to the Patriots couldn't run the ball last week. The Colts ran the ball up and down the Miami Dolphins. So I'd be going in this week and saying, hey, look, fellas, we got to help ourselves by running the football, and this is the team we got to do it against.
And the other thing, Miami didn't run it especially well or often. Achance banged up a bit. The Dolphins in the past, they had Waddle, they had Hill, but generally they were pretty effective in the run game against the Patriots, and that doesn't seem to be the case right now, especially with a banged-up offensive
outside zone
line.
runs. They were really good off tackle in past years. That zone run killed us. 8 at a clip, 9, 10. And it really set them up with the play action to sort of take the pressure off Tua. I think if you take away that run, now the pressure's on him. Let him fill it.
The Patriots got to kind of flip it on their head. They don't want to play from behind. They don't want to be able to give up the run, and now all of a sudden their defense is exposed to all those things. I think that's the key to the game. Whoever starts this game fastest will probably have the advantage and keep it the rest of the game.
How about playing in Miami? You know, we saw some of the best Patriots teams go down there with the greatest quarterback of all time and struggle in South Florida.
I wish I knew what it was. I mean, I've seen you guys down there. How many times did we change hotels thinking it would change the karma, right?
I have go down for the week, stay at the airport.
Oh my gosh, I had one good memory of playing in Miami. That was the game we opened the season. Tom threw for 500 yards. What was that, Monday Night Football? But other than that,
right?
I got all bad memories of going down there. And hopefully this is the week, as you mentioned before, the Dolphins are sliding, and it's only going to take a few good quarters of Patriots football for them to really start pulling apart.
It's a weird party that they have down there going on because pregame's nuts. You know, it looks like a nightclub. I've been down there in years. I remember the Miami or the Marino Bledsoe year. We're down there. We couldn't warm up because it was torrential downpours. And Dan Marino and Drew Bledsoe had a shootout that game. It was like 4 and 5 touchdowns each. Ben Coates had 3 of them. We never even warmed up and played well. But there are times where we warmed up, thought we're great, and then the heat comes and you just can't even breathe in the third, fourth quarter.
A weird party, you say?
What's that?
As a former Dolphin, you'll fill us in during the commercial break.
Oh, yeah.
The party, the nightclub.
Pick you up at 12. Oh, I thought that was noon. No, that's midnight.
Predictions coming up next. Patriots and the Dolphins right after this.
Zach Thomas.
Patriots This Week is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots. By DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots. And by Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. 0 fees. Fans deserve better. Visit sitickets.com today.
It was a big week for Travis Etienne. The Jaguars' back exploded for 143 yards in the season opener, prompting Jacksonville to trade his running mate Tank Bigsby. Start Etienne when the Jags travel to Cincy, but keep David Njoku on the pine. The Browns' tight end was upstaged by rookie Harold Fannin last week, and Cleveland has a tough matchup with an angry Ravens team in Baltimore. And don't sleep on Keenan Allen. Reunited with Justin Herbert, Allen had a big week in the season opener. Expect him to cash in against the Raiders in Vegas. This week's fantasy picks are brought to you by Verizon.
All right, this Sunday, 1 o'clock, 0-1 Patriots, 0-1 Dolphins, divisional matchup. Scott Zolak, who wins? Who is the game changer?
Patriots win 20-17. It's a tight one. The game changer is Travion Henderson. I think you look at week 1, a lot of Stevenson, minimal with Gibson, and sort of minimal in between with Henderson. Henderson more carries in this game. Get the ball to him. He's your most explosive player in offense.
I think the Dolphins are reeling. I think the Patriots win 28-14.
Nice.
And I'm going to flip. I took Travion Henderson last week.
Okay.
You took Drake. I'm going to take Drake this week.
I was going to take Drake today, though.
He comes
good.
back. He bounces back. They narrow down, the plays that he feels comfortable with, and I think he comes out slinging against the Dolphins.
That's a good one.
All right, everybody loves the Drake. It's the Pats and the Dolphins Sunday at 1. For Scott Zolak and Brian Hoyer, I'm Bob Socci. Thanks so much for joining us. So long, everyone.